Armathwaite Station is on the Settle to Carlisle line, which runs between Carlisle and Leeds. It's located around 9 miles to the southeast of Carlisle and serves the village of Armathwaite in the district of Eden in Cumbria. It is owned by Network Rail and managed by Northern Trains. Like most of the stations on this section of the line, it was opened by the Midland Railway on the 1st of May 1876 and designed by the company architect John Holloway Sanders. The original station building is now a private house, and it's a medium-sized style station built from red sandstone, and it's the final stop on the Settle Carlisle line prior to reaching the terminus at Carlisle. Like the majority of the stations on the Settle Carlisle line, this station was closed by British Rail on the 5th of May 1970 when local passenger trains ceased operating on the route. It was later reopened on the 14th of July 1986. By that time, the original station building on the Carlisle-bound platform had already been sold for private use, so a passenger shelter was built at the northern end of the platform. Meanwhile, this beautiful brick-built passenger waiting room in the Midland Railway style exists on the Leeds-bound platform. The signal box at Armathwaite Station was brought into service on the 16th of July 1899. It is of timber construction, measuring 16 foot 6 inches by 11 foot 6 inches, and houses a 16-lever tumbler frame. It was decommissioned and retired from service on the 15th of January 1983. The Friends of the Settle Carlisle line completed a full restoration of the box in 1992, making it an excellent example of its kind. The box is now open to the public, where documents, relevant artefacts, books, and information can be viewed. The Friends of the Settle to Carlisle line was formed in 1982 to campaign against the closure of the line. Since 1990, it has acted as a user group to improve facilities. It continues to be the largest such group in the country with over 3,000 members. It was the main campaigning organisation, and with the Action Committee bore the brunt of the campaign. The Friends have about 160 volunteers doing regular work and also play a vital part in reviewing services and franchises. Armathwaite Station has 2 platforms, both of which have seating. There's a waiting shelter on the southbound platform. There's next train audio and visual displays as well as an emergency help point. There is a small car park just outside the northbound platform for trains heading to Carlisle. The southbound platform for trains heading to Settle and Leeds is accessed from the nearby road, although there is a steep climb up to the platform, and neither of the platforms have step-free access. Passenger numbers pre-pandemic were nearly 10,000 a year, but this dropped to 1,700 in 2020. Armathwaite is a pleasant Cumbrian village with the River Eden flowing through it, and it's renowned for its salmon fishing and superb walks along the river. It contains Armathwaite Castle, a 4-storey palais tower adapted into a country house in 1752 by William Sanderson. The Eden Gorge between Lazenby and Armathwaite is one of Cumbria's best kept secrets, but it is now inaccessible to the public. Armathwaite is home to several producers and bottlers of Eden Valley natural mineral water, including Aqua Pura. Brampton is a small market town in Cumbria, founded in the 7th century, and is about 9 miles to the east of Carlisle and a couple of miles south of Hadrian's Wall. It's situated next to the A69 trunk road. Brampton Railway Station is about a mile and a quarter outside the town itself and is located on the Newcastle and Carlisle Railway. The station serves the hamlet of Milton as well as the nearby market town of Brampton. It's owned by Network Rail and managed on a day-to-day basis by Northern Trains. The station was opened in July 1836 and was originally called Milton. It's also been called Milton for Brampton, but nowadays the station is commonly known as Brampton Cumbria in order to distinguish it from the station of the same name in Suffolk. Brampton was reduced to an unstaffed halt in 1967, along with most of the other stations on the line that escaped the beaching axe. The former station buildings were subsequently demolished in stages during the 1970s and the 1980s. The station has 2 platforms, both of which have a ticket machine. There's seating and a waiting shelter, as well as next train audio. There is step-free access to both platforms. However, the Carlisle-bound platform is not fully accessible from the station's car park. The 2 platforms are linked by a metal footbridge, similar in design to the bridges at Haltwhistle and Wetheral stations. Looking at passenger numbers for Brampton Station, well, pre-pandemic, they were just under 16,000 passenger journeys each year. But during the first year of the pandemic in 2020, those numbers fell to just under 4,000. The majority of the stations that I'm featuring on this series about the Eden Valley are located on the Settle to Carlisle line. This spectacular Midland Railway line was opened in 1876. It stretches 72 miles and passes 9 tiny stations and through some of the most rugged countryside in Britain. It's a magnificent piece of railway architecture with stunning viaducts and bridges. The Talkin Tarn Country Park lies 9 miles to the east of Carlisle and is just a mile away from Brampton Station. There's a 65-acre lake set amid 120 acres of farmland and woodland. The Tarn is an ideal place for active recreation or a quiet stroll through the mature woodlands. The Tarn is glacial in origin and was formed about 10,000 years ago and is fed by underground streams. You can sail, windsurf, canoe or hire one of the wooden rowing boats. Fishing is also available at the tarn. There is a small camping and caravan site, and a permanent orienteering course is laid out around the park. The shop hires mountain bikes, and there are suggested routes taking you through beautiful countryside. There's also a 1.3-mile path around the tarn, which is suitable for wheelchairs. Wetheral Station was originally opened in July 1836. The station was originally staffed, and the old station master's house still stands as a private residence. Following the Beeching Acts, the station was closed in January 1967, along with the neighbouring station at Heads Newark. Wetheral Station was reopened by British Rail in October 1981. Corby Bridge, which is also known as the Wetheral Viaduct, is situated to the east of the station, over which trains pass when travelling towards Newcastle. Construction of the 660-foot-long bridge began in 1830 and was completed in 1834. The bridge also carries a cast iron footbridge that links the station with the nearby village of Great Corby, which was added in 1851. Looking at passenger numbers at Wetheral Station, well, pre-pandemic, they were nearly 40,000 passenger journeys a year. But during the first year of the pandemic in 2020, those numbers fell to just under 9,000. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this second video in the series covering stations of the Eden Valley. Join me next time when I'll be going back onto the settled Carlisle line looking at two more stations, this time at Appleby and Kirkby Stephen in Cumbria. Thank you for watching the video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. So from me, Stephen Bennett, until the next time, bye-bye.